Today we'll learn a new chapter from chemistry. The name of the chapter is Metals and Nonmetals. Elements are broadly classified into metals and nonmetals. Now, how we can define metals? Metals are those elements which form positive ions by losing electrons. There are many examples for metals given in the textbook. Example: copper, iron, Al is aluminium, Na is sodium, Au is gold, etc. There are many. Remember here the elements which form positive ions. How? By losing electrons. So we call them as metals. This additional information you should know. Whenever metal, here I have considered the example of sodium. Whenever it loses electron, it becomes electropositive. Whenever the metal loses electron, it gets positive charge. An atom with charge is called ion. What type of ion it forms? Cation. Now, you may have little confusion. What are anions and cations? Suppose, if you consider this as a battery, the positive end of the battery is called anode. The negative end of the battery is called cathode. I have considered two ions here. One is sodium ion, that is Na+. Other one is chloride ion, it is Cl-. Okay. Now, positively charged ion, which we know it is called cation, will always be attracted towards the negative end of the battery. Which is the negative end of the battery? Cathode. So positively charged ion will be attracted towards cathode. So any ion that is attracted towards cathode, usually it will be positively charged. Such ions are called cation. Remember, cation is positive but cathode is negative. Remember, why it is called cation? Because it is attracted towards cathode. Why it is attracted towards cathode? Because cathode is having negative charge. Now, what are anions? The ion which is negatively charged, which is attracted towards the positive end of the battery. Which is the positive end of the battery? Anode. Okay, such ions are actually called as anion. Remember, negatively charged ion is anion, where it is attracted towards the anode. So, ion that is attracted towards anode is called anion. Now, let us learn about physical properties of metals. Metals are lustrous, means they have bright, shiny surface. There are like few examples which are mainly identified for this bright and shiny surface. Even it is also used in ornaments. That is silver, gold and platinum. Because of their lustrous nature, one of the reason they are used in ornaments. Then metals are hard. Whether all the metals are hard? No. There are exceptions. There are few metals, we call them as alkali metals like lithium, sodium and potassium. Do you know these metals are soft? They can be cut with the help of knife. They may ask you this question in the examination. Name the metals which are soft and can be cut with knife. Your answer should be lithium, sodium and potassium. Then third important physical property is metals show ductility. Do you know what is ductility means? Metals can be drawn into wires. This nature is called as ductility. Do you know the most ductile metal is gold? 1 gram of gold can be drawn into a length of 2 kilometers. You can make a wire of 2 kilometer length just by 1 gram of gold. So ductility means the nature of metal to form wires. So that is actually called as ductility. Metals can be drawn into wires. So this nature is called ductility. Even we can also write it as metals are ductile. Then the fourth important physical property, malleability. Do you know metals can be drawn into sheets? Especially when the metals are hit with hard object like hammer. They become flat. So this nature of metals becoming into sheets, that is called as malleability. Do you know the most malleable metals are gold and silver? Most ductile metal is also gold. The most malleable metal is gold and. Do you know metals are also good conductors of heat? Good conductors of heat means they allow the heat to transfer through them. The best conductors of heat in metals are copper and silver. Copper and silver are very good conductors of heat. That's why most of the cooking utensils are made up of copper and silver. But nowadays, as silver is expensive, it is not being used. We get many copper bottom vessels. Then, poor conductors of heat in metals are lead and mercury. Lead and mercury are poor conductors of heat. Then metals are also good conductors of electricity. So that is one of the reasons they are actually used in electrical wiring, especially copper and aluminium. They are good conductors of electricity, means they allow the current to pass through. Do you know which property makes metals good conductor of electricity? They have free electrons. Due to presence of free electrons, very easily they can conduct electricity. Then metals have high melting point and boiling point. The metal with highest melting point is tungsten. The symbol is W. Remember that. Then there are few metals with very low melting point. Good example is gallium and cesium. Do you know they can melt even in our palm? Means for our body temperature also this gallium and cesium metal can melt. Then do you know metals are sonorous? Sonorous means they make sound. Okay, typical metal or tin like sound. Due to this nature, metals are used to make school bells, especially an alloy called bronze. Bronze is an alloy made up of copper and tin. It is specially used to make school bells. You should know one basic information. I told you about melting point and boiling point. Do you know what is melting point is? The temperature at which a solid is converted into liquid. That is called melting point. Now, what is boiling point? The temperature at which a liquid is converted into gas. That is called as boiling point.